Stakeholders in Nigeria that the agreement would lead to the dumping of finished goods in their country. Meanwhile, the African Export-Import Bank will in December hold an African trade fair in Egypt in December to encourage trade amongst African countries. KImani reports from Cairo.
44 African countries signed the agreement in March this year. It aims to increase trade amongst African countries from the current 16 to at least 24% by 2022. Nigeria did not sign, but former President Olesugun Obasanjo says its holdout may soon be over.
For Nigeria and South Africa, I know that the protocols have to be approved by the parliament. Yeah. And if you do not carry them along as well, you will have another problem. But I believe that before we have the meeting of AU again in July, Nigeria should be on board.
Egypt, Africa's third largest economy, is among countries that signed the deal. Its trade minister, Tarek Kabil, says this agreement will help industrialize the continent.
And then what's important is not just the agreement goes into effect, is one, respect the agreement, to use it for trade, but more importantly, build on it for investment.
The AfCFTA will be implemented once 22 countries ratify the pact. So far, only 3, Rwanda, Ghana and Kenya, have ratified. The Africa Export-Import Bank on Thursday launched an intra-African trade fair aimed at boosting trade among African countries.
If we don't trade amongst ourselves, we are not going to see intra-regional investments. We are not going to see regional infrastructure because governments do not have the money to build infrastructure. The infrastructure will emerge from public-private partnerships, but the public-private partnership can only come when building the infrastructure makes economic sense.
The first of its kind fair will bring together 1,500 African countries and more than 70,000 business people, with deals topping $70,000 billion. The highlight of the event is the setting up of an African trade portal with information on what each individual African country has to offer.
That will also double up as a digital platform, such that those who cannot come to the trade fair can actually trade online.
Trade between Egypt and the rest of the African continent currently stands at just 8%. The North African country will be looking at the trade fair in December to increase those numbers as well as diversify its market for its products.
To showcase Egypt as a new land for marketplace for African products.
Africa Export-Import Bank has pledged $25 billion over the next 5 years to boost trade between African countries. KImani, SABC News in Cairo, Egypt.